Ending in Orlando, we pick it up with just under 3 minutes left here. Magic and Pistons down 3. Cade Cunningham comes up clutch, knocks down that 26-foot three-pointer. Game is all of a sudden tied at 104. And the Pistons starting to cook, threatening here. A minute later, Magic up by 1. Franz Wagner drills the three-pointer. That would put the Magic up by 4 and back in the lead under a minute left. Magic up by 5 here. Paolo Banchero from deep gets the shooter's bounce in the Magic. Go up 8. Looking a little too close for comfort, though, in Orlando, but somehow they find a way. 113-105 was your final score from the Kia Center in Orlando as the Magic get it done, hold off the Pistons, and now take the 2-1 series lead. Game 4 Monday from Orlando at 8 p.m. Let's get into our post-game coverage as we now welcome in our own John Gonzalez for more. John, great to see you. This one, as I mentioned, a little too close for comfort for Orlando in the final minutes. We saw Cade Cunningham tie it all up with that clutch 3, but the Magic found a way to pull away in this one. How would you describe the way they were able to do it?
Dicey. They were up 15 with 7.5 minutes left, and then, the Pistons tied it, and then they pulled away. But they got some big shots from Franz Wagner. Paolo Banchero had a pretty good game, although he wasn't very efficient shooting the ball. I think Wendell Carter should be called out here because he had a monster double-double, and he really has been outplaying Jalen Duren in this series. Jalen Duren almost won for his own double-double and had 5 blocks, but he fouled out. And really, Wendell Carter gave him all he could handle. And then one more guy that we should single out here is Desmond Bane, who had a pretty bad shooting night in Game 2. Responded big time in Game 3 in Orlando, back at home, goes for 25 points, hits 7 three-pointers tonight. The Orlando Magic, Jordan, for a long time, I don't think they made a three-pointer for like 10 years. And then tonight they shoot 45% from deep. So that was a little surprising, but I guess eventually it has to go in, and tonight it did.
And definitely did. And it was surprising and is surprising that they have taken the series lead at 2-1. So they stole, obviously, Game 1. Nobody expected that. We were all shocked after that game, and here they are. What has gotten into this Magic team, and how have they been able to prove all of the doubters wrong?
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of the Magic team that was promised all season long. I and a lot of people thought that the Magic were going to take a leap this season because they do, on paper, have a very compelling team, and they play great defense. But it took them pretty much all season until the play-in game where they beat the Charlotte Hornets, and then they win Game 1 in Detroit where it looked like, oh, this is the Magic team that we were waiting for all season long. They're actually trying now. They're making shots. I'm still not entirely sold on the pairing between Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, but so far in this series, they've looked pretty good. Now, again, they haven't been super efficient, and they've needed a lot of offense from Desmond Bane, but a guy like Jalen Suggs, who was injured earlier this season, he's playing really well. They're getting good contributions off the bench from Anthony Black, and I think defensively, they've done a really good job on Cade Cunningham, especially in Game 3. Yes, Cade went for 27 points, but man, did they make him work. Just 8 of 22 from the floor, and they turned him over 8 times. So the Magic, when they're playing through their defense, when that's their primary pursuit, they're a really tough team, and they were tonight.
Let's get to the Pistons here. Just another heartbreaker for Cade Cunningham in particular, doing the absolute most. How do they steal one back on Monday?
Yeah, Cade needs to be more efficient. He needs to take care of the ball. Again, 8 turnovers. That can't happen. That really hurt them tonight. I didn't think Cade was all of the problem. There's plenty of blame to go around here. I mean, Jalen Duren, I called him out earlier. We'll do it again here. He has not had a good series. He had a great season. He might end up as a third-team All-NBA. He was a finalist for Most Improved Player of the Year. He didn't win it, but still, he's had a really good year. And he's a guy who bet on himself this past offseason when he was looking for $30 million a year from the Pistons. The Pistons balked at that. And then after the season he's had, he's thinking, well, I'm going to get paid big time. Okay, you're probably still going to get paid big time, but if you want to be a big-time money guy, you got to play like that in the playoffs when you're the 1 seed, and now you're down to the 8 seed 2-1. Doesn't mean you're going to lose the series, but they need a lot more out of Jalen Duren for sure. I think Asar Thompson's been fine. Duncan Robinson, they need some more shooting there. This is sort of what you're seeing from the Pistons and the Magic in this series. They're two very, very similar teams. And In game 3, the Magic got their shots to fall, and the Pistons didn't. Neither of them shoot the ball very well, but that was really the difference.
Well, they will get another chance come Monday. Stay put, John. Much more from you on the other side here on HQ as the Orlando Magic continue to surprise us all, taking the 2-1 series lead in this one against the Detroit Pistons. As I mentioned, that game 4 Monday from Orlando, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. More from us here on HQ. We're going to show you full highlights from this one from Orlando on the other side here on HQ, and much more NBA playoff talk. Stay with us. Now have a chance Sunday night to pull off a sweep. Before the series got underway, the Lakers, as you see here, with just a 15% chance to win this series. So now 94% chance to win. So what a turnaround. Here's a look at the largest series upsets in the last 15 years. If the Lakers pull off this sweep, they would join this list alongside the Knicks, as you see here, who last year pulled off the win against Boston in the second round. They also had plus 550 odds to do that. For much more on how the Lakers can do it, let's bring back our own John Gonzalez. John, as I said, no Luka, no Reeves. How have the Lakers been able to put themselves in this position on the verge of a sweep of the Rockets?
Yeah, it's amazing, right? I mean, like, nobody was on the Lakers except for the Lakers, because when you miss 2 of your 3 best players on a team that is extremely top-heavy, what are the chances that you're going to get past a Rockets team that's top 10 in both offense and defense? And the answer is, well, we all kind of like underrated LeBron again, which is ridiculous. I mean, even at 41 years old, Jordan, man, this guy has been amazing in this series. I never get tired of watching him play, but especially in this series, you're just reminded again of how incredible he is. He played 45 minutes last night. He goes for a 29-point double-double. Yes, he had some turnover issues, but he has really buoyed the Lakers throughout this entire series, and he's gotten so much more out of his supporting cast than I thought possible. Marcus Smart goes for a double-double last night. He had 5 steals as well. He's been really good in this series. Luke Kennard has stepped up into the starting lineup and really filled some of the scoring void that's been left by not having Luka and Austin Reeves, and now they might get Austin Reeves back for game 4. We'll see if that happens, but either way, this is just such an incredible performance by the Lakers, who I don't think anybody anticipated that they would not only win this series, and that's going to happen. This series is already a wrap, but do it so convincingly.
All right, so that was going to be my follow-up question. So you think they go ahead and pull off the sweep? That game 4 is slated for tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern time. Let's move on, shall we, to the Celtics, who are looking to take a commanding 3-1 series lead against the Sixers. How can they do it?
Yeah, I mean, for the Celtics, it was just about trying to knock down some shots, right? I mean, and they finally did that. They shot 43% from 3 in game 3, and they had a really cold night in game 2. The other difference was they really limited VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe in game 2 went absolutely supernova. He went for 30 and 10. He was the first rookie since Tim Duncan to put up those numbers. He's obviously not Tim Duncan, but to be in that company is pretty impressive. But in game 3, he goes 0 for 7 from 3, so he definitely cooled off. They played much better. And then just the Jays, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. At some point in that game, when the Sixers were making them work a lot harder than you would expect a Celtics team that is infinitely better than the Sixers, you just wouldn't expect them to have to work that hard against Philly. I think the Jays looked around and went, what are we doing here? It's the Sixers. We're the Celtics. We've won a bunch of championships. They haven't. Let's play like that. And they did it, especially in the fourth quarter as they closed it out. And they really helped overcome. Derek White has been fantastic this season, but his shot has sort of vanished recently. And so those other 2 guys really picked up the offensive load. While Derek White's still playing great defense, they're going to need him to find that moving forward.
Okay, let's move on to the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama, who obviously, as we know, remains in concussion protocol. The Spurs right now have a 2-1 series lead against the Trailblazers. How cautious, though, should they be here with Wemby?
Yeah, I mean, he's the franchise, right? I don't think you need to really rush him back. The Spurs are a better team than the Blazers without Wemby. I mean, obviously with him, they super level up, but they're already top 5 in offense and defensive rating during the regular season. He took a pretty nasty fall, right? I mean, he only played 12 minutes in that game, and his jaw bounced twice off of the floor. So once you go into the concussion protocol, I'm kind of surprised that he even made the trip and got on the plane to go to Portland, because for the first 48 hours, you can't do anything. And then after that, you have to go through this long checklist where they make you bike and jog and do agility work and all this stuff. And then you have to have a neurological evaluation. And then on top of that, you have to be symptom-free before they'll clear you to play. So I guess he was ahead of schedule. But yes, with a 2-1 series lead, and you're going back to San Antonio anyway, no matter what happens in Game 4, I would be awfully cautious with him because it's not just about winning the series, which I anticipate that they'll do anyway. It's about making a deep run in this postseason when, you haven't been in the playoffs in forever. So you have a chance to do something special here.
Most definitely. Lastly here, let's hit on the Raptors, who are eyeing to even this series after a dominant performance in Game 3. What stood out to you about that one?
They finally play defense, right? I mean, the Raptors' offense is middle of the pack. They're just okay. They're 15th in offensive rating during the regular season. Their defense, though, is what has really elevated them this year. They were 5th in defensive rating, and the first 2 games did not go great for them. Then they go to Toronto, and they go, oh, yeah, we can play defense. And they hold the Cavs to 104 points. A couple other things that stood out. R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes combined for 66 points. They got 22 points from CMB, Colin Murray-Boyles, off the bench, which was really impressive. Now, no Manuel quickly for this series. That's a big bummer. And the other thing here is if the Raptors actually want to get back into the series, and I'm not sure that they're going to, but if they have any chance of doing that, they need Brandon Ingram to show up. He has been terrible in this series so far. Last game, just 12 points. 5 of 9 shooting from the floor. This is not the guy that they traded for. They need him to be an offensive force because you've got Scotty Barnes and R.J. Barrett playing really well, and especially Scotty Barnes playing great defense. But Brandon Ingram has been nowhere to be found. So, Evan Mobley had a bad shooting night. Harden, Donovan Mitchell, all of them did not play well in Game 3. I don't think that's going to hold. You can't count on those guys to just be cold for the rest of the series. They're going to need Brandon Ingram moving forward.
All right, great stuff from you. Per usual, John Gonzalez joining us here for our post-game coverage on CBS Sports HQ as the NBA playoffs continue. Here's a look at all of those Sunday NBA playoff games. It all begins 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow between the Cavaliers and Raptors. Cleveland takes the 2-1 series lead there. It continues at 3:30 Eastern. We'll see the Spurs and Trailblazers. The Celtics and 76ers tip off at 7 Eastern, our nightcap at 9:30 Eastern time between the Lakers and Rockets. LA hoping to pull off the sweep there behind LeBron James and company. What an ending we had in Orlando. The Magic look to take their first playoff series lead through 3 games for the first time since 2010.